Assalamualaikum. Today my group will present about Haccp Plan. Before that, let me introduce my group. My name is Muhammad Imran. My group mate is Nur Fasiha, Nur Izati Afika, and Nabila Ashira. For the introduction, in this project, the company decided to choose ice cream product. As they know, ice cream is a sweetened frozen food typically eaten as a snack or dessert. The name of the company is Ice Cream Food Manufacturing, and the address of the company is located at 35 Jalan Kilang, Jelapang Industry Estate, 30100 Ipoh Perak, and was established in 1987. Ice cream product is convenience in consuming dairy product, delicious and accepted from 3 years old and above. And then we are going to implement the hazard analysis and critical control points, or Haccp documentation, which is a systematic preventive approach to food safety from biological, chemical and physical hazard in production processes that can cause the finished product to be unsafe, and design measure to reduce the risk to a safe level in our company's ice cream production. For the objective, first is to determine the factor which is affect the production of ice cream, and second is to construct the hazard analysis and critical control points, which is Haccp Plan in processing the ice cream.
The manager is Muhammad Imran bin Yusof, where is responsible for entire production process in the industry. Quality manager is Nur Izati Afika binti Zahidin, where will conduct internal audit as per schedule. Technical manager is Nur Fasiha binti Hamzah, and her role is ensure the maximum efficiency and availability of production equipment. Production manager is Nabila Ashira binti Rosli, and she is responsible for quality and quantity of production. Planner logistic manager is Nur Shahira Irwani binti Muhammad Suhaili, where she will planning and managing logistic, warehouse, transportation and customer service. Lastly, the role of overseeing is receiving, warehouse and distribution operation are taken by warehouse manager Nur Hazwani binti Saidi.
Next is product description. Product name is dairy ice cream chocolate. The flavor is chocolate. Brand is ice cream. Origin from China. Important product characteristic is appearance, which is brown color. Aroma, which is chocolate. Taste, which is sweet, and texture is smooth. Intended use, the product mentioned is intended for different segment of population, expect sensitive people, diabetic, and person with a milk and egg allergy. Next is target consumer is from 3 years old. Process is receiving, waiting, mixing and freezing. Raw material list is milk, salt, sugar, cocoa powder, egg, semi-sweet chocolate, heavy whipping cream and vanilla extract. Packaging size is 1.5 liter. Packaging material is polypropylene container. Storage condition is negative 18 degrees Celsius. Shelf life is if unopened 2 until 3 months. If open, 1 until 2 months in freezer. Allergen information: this product contain milk and egg. Next is labeling instruction for consumer. Store in the freezer. Ice cream is a frozen food made from mixture of dairy product containing at least 10% milk fat. Expired date, product name and net weight. Last is distribution condition. Transported in a refrigerated truck. Keep at negative 25 degrees Celsius to negative 30 degrees Celsius.
The essential ingredients in ice cream are milk, cream, corn syrup, cocoa powder, water and stabilizer. First of all, weighing the ingredients and adding the materials. After that, blending and mixing the ingredients. And then pasteurization at 720 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Cooling and aging for 12 hours at 40 degrees Celsius. After that, freezing by a batch freezer. The finished product will then well packaged in polypropylene containers and stored at negative 20 degrees Celsius.
The Haccp Plan for raw material and storage. In the first process, three types of hazard, which is biological, physical and chemical. In raw material, acceptance are potentially presented, but none of these hazard are defined a critical control point where all the significant hazard are above 10. And same goes to the second process, which is all of the significant hazard are above 10, but there are only two type of hazard potentially presented, which is biological and chemical.
Three types of hazard, which is biological, physical and chemical in both process. Weighing and adding, also blending and mixing are potentially presented, but none of these hazards are defined a critical control point where all the significant hazards are above 10.
Next, pasteurization, cooling and aging. For the pasteurization process, there is no chemical and physical hazard that are potentially presented, but the biological hazard in this process are potentially presented because pentagon can remain after pasteurization due to inadequate pasteurization, and this hazard are defined CCP because the significant hazard are below 10.
The chemical hazard in the freezing process are potentially presented because drips of oil from compressor that possible to contaminate the product. And these hazards are defined CCP because the significant hazard are below 10. Other than that, there is no physical hazard that are potentially presented, and the biological hazard are potentially presented, and the hazard not defined CCP as its significant hazard are above 10. For the two last process, which is packaging, labeling and final storing, both are not defined CCP as its significant hazard are above 10. For the packaging labeling process, physical and chemical hazard are potentially presented but not biological. In final storing, there is no physical and chemical hazard potentially presented, but there is biological hazard potentially presented.
In this Haccp plan, there are two CCP that has been highlighted after the Haccp analysis been done. As this process defines CCP, there is a critical limit by keeping pasteurization temperature at 72 degrees Celsius, maintaining the temperature for 10 minutes by monitoring on the automatic temperature controller in every batch. This rule has to be taken by operator and QC supervisor.
Second CCP is freezing process where the processing area should be located at clean operation area, 55 to 600 degrees Celsius, 3% sodium hydroxide wash on pipe entrance and inner wall, fat 930 degrees Celsius and water wash for 10 to 50 minutes. Do a lab test of cell culture cleaning, and disinfection program for every batch. This role has to be taken by operator or hygiene management personnel.
Through this assessment, it can be determined that chocolate ice cream is a good microbial grow medium because of its nutrients such as lactose, protein, carbohydrate, and neutral pH profile. However, its quality is difficult to determine solely by appearance. Therefore, preventing microbial contamination has been crucial for its safety control. First is pasteurization, where biological hazards such as pathogen remains after pasteurization due to inadequate pasteurization may occur. Second is freezing, where chemical hazards such as drips of oil from compressor that possible to contaminate the product can occur to spoil the production of ice cream. It's all from our group. Thank you for paying attention.